I mean, Do Is Paul's song, he wrote it when he was a teenager. But I know he had the song around in Hamburg even, way, way before we were songwriters.
I remember first hearing that song on the radio. That was the best buzz of all time. We knew it was going to be on something like 7:30 on Thursday night. It's going to be on Radio Luxembourg. And we all listened in, and there was, wow. From Me to You was really important because that kind of put the stamp on it. We had the first one, which did good. They let us back in the studio. We did the next one, and then we had the album, which did good. And then From Me to You, the next single, because remember, everybody would try to do in those days, make a single that sounded just like the one that was the previous one that was the hit. And we kind of avoided that, but if you notice, it did have the harmonica still on it, which was like a little trademark at that time.
We brought it to George Martin. Hey George, and we did She Loves You, yeah, 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 yeah. And the little 6-type cluster that we got at the end of it. George said, no, no, no. We said, why? He said, it's very corny, that end, a 6th. He said, it's like the old days, dun 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 dun, wah. He said, it's very corny. He said, I'd never do it. And we didn't understand. We just said, it's great, George. Such a great sound. He said, it's a 6th. We said, it doesn't matter. It's just great. And we just said, we've got to have it. We stuck out for that, you corny or not. So George would give us these sort of parameters. He'd say, you mustn't double a 3rd, or it's corny to end with a 6th. We said, we like it, man. It's bluesy. Classical people will say, no, you can't do that. So whenever I met that, I'd say, bloody well do it. We were in Paris one time, playing the Olympia in Paris, when back at the hotel, and a telegram came through from Capitol Records of America to Brian. He came running in the room. He said, hey, look, you're #1 in America. Well, just, I mean, I can't describe. We just, hey. We all tried to jump on Big Mal's back, and I remember running around the suite on Big Mal's back. Hey, you know, that was it. Like, we just didn't come down for a week.
Ringo, he was good at coming up with things like that. It was just a slip of the tongue, really. You know, he said it's been a hard day's night, you know, when we'd been doing a gig and driving and doing all that stuff, and he just said it. And we'd all fall around on the floor because Ringo would just say these things quite innocently.
While I was saying one thing, another thing would come in my brain and move down fast. There's actually a saying, there's a word for it, when you get two lines mixed up into one. We had a few of them, you know. Tomorrow Never Knows was mine. You know, God knows where it came from. Hard Day